I forgot to cue the intro,
Okay.
so you know what? We're just gonna do it with this one. What's up, everyone? This is episode number 146 of At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the Executioner, Daniel Travis.
I'm Matthew Smith, aka the Unbreakable Spirit, and we're back on wrestling this week. So
Yes.
let's run through the topics.
1.
Topic number 1 is rivalries that deserve rivalries that deserve a stipulation that haven't gotten one yet.
Or, yeah. Number 2.
Would some soon to be leaving AEW stars do well in WWE?
Number 3.
The results of the SummerSlam prediction battle. But first, topic number 1, which, since this is an even number episode, I'll start off. So, let's get the obvious one out of the ring, out of the way. If we're talking about rivalries that deserve a stipulation that haven't gotten one yet, the obvious one is CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, folks. When this match was announced for SummerSlam, my honest first thought was, okay, so you're going to do an unsanctioned match and just let those two beat the living tart out of each other.
Yeah.
But nope, you got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the referee for some reason.
Yeah, and Seth didn't like either of them, and we'll talk more about SummerSlam later, but we do know that in old pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it, is returning this October.
Yeah, Bad Blood.
One that specifically was created to give WWE an excuse to use the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, put those two inside Hell in a Cell and oh god.
Yeah.
I will say a past like I will say like anytime like a partner like betrays someone and you have their first encounter, like you have like I don't know like with Cora Jade turning on Roxanne Perez, and you have those two, you know, their first encounter was like a normal match. It don't really make sense.
Yeah.
If one
I
partner,
just realized I said one of the topics wrong. Oops. Instead of whatever I said for the second topic, it should be John Cena retirement tour opponents. My bad.
yeah, but it's just like guys, like or like anytime like a partner betrays someone, I'm like, guys, you're seriously not gonna have like a stipulation like I don't know, anytime like when Triple H betrayed Shawn Michaels, their first encounter to start off their rivalry was immediately a stipulation match.
Yeah. In that it was unsanctioned, right?
Yep.
Alright, but moving on from the past and talking about rivalries that deserve one that haven't yet, I personally think Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley deserve a stipulation.
Yeah. And my question is not only would I have it be for the women's world title, but I for some reason would like to involve like Dot in the mix just to be like, hey, if Rhea wins, not only does she get like the world title or something, but she gets a full match with Dominic.
I mean, that could very well happen in 2025. We don't know. with Raw's move to Netflix in January,
Yeah,
like they might be able to get away with some more risque stuff.
yeah. I will say, another rivalry that has like happened in the past. A more recent one is when Trick William no when Carmelo Hayes betrayed Trick Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two compete in a normal match.
Well,
Like,
kind of hard for them to get a stipulation added to their rivalry if Carmelo is on Smack
well,
SmackDown while Trick is
not
still
now,
in
not now.
NXT.
I'm not talking right now. I'm talking when he was back in NXT.
Yeah,
Not right now.
I know. I'm just saying that the the content of the topic
Yeah.
name implies current rivalries.
I know. Yeah, but I think it's like the Seth and I guess the Seth Pong, another current rivalry that is actually, that I really do think needs a stipulation match of some kind is when Roman Reigns and when Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa have a match.
Can we just agree it's probably gonna be Bloodline Rules
Yeah. Or Tribal Combat.
or Tribal Combat? One
Same
of the
damn
two.
thing.
That you know what? That's a topic for a later date. Though it doesn't
Uh,
really matter. Both of them are no disqualification.
that's the point. Uh, what other current rivalries do you feel besides the three besides another one I just mentioned?
Damian Priest and Finn Balor.
That would also work. Yeah, I also feel like that winning the stipulation, but I also feel like there hasn't really been anybody in NXT that hasn't really been like okay, maybe when okay, what about Wesley versus his former team? That
Zachary wins.
Yeah, that's
The
gonna need a stipulation match for sure.
Yeah, if they show up again, to be fair.
True.
But the timer just went off, so as for my final thoughts, there are probably more rivalries that we forgot that could use a stipulation these days, but haven't. But who knows?
My final thoughts on if you're gonna do like when you have like a rivalry, that has had like a betrayal or you got like a personal rivalry, and you have your first match be like a normal match, it don't really make a whole lot of sense. If you're gonna have like a personal rivalry, with someone, and you have your, like, if when you do a stipulation match, don't just do it for make it make sense for the storyline you're doing. That's all I ask.
Yeah, and with that, we will move on to topic number 2.
Yep. And we are back with topic number 2. That is opponents that John Cena should wrestle while he closes the door on his in-ring career.
And that makes me think I chose the wrong hat for this episode because John Cena never wrestled on NXT, but I got one right off the bat.
Go.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I actually heard that before summer. I saw a little random thing online where Braun Breaker, like this was before he won the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, called out John Cena.
Yeah, he said he wanted to retire Cena.
I mean, dude, if there's any way for if Braun Breaker's the one to retire John Cena, that is definitely going to make Braun Breaker a massive star.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify for people, I saw this on ringside. Just because John Cena is retiring from the ring doesn't mean he's retiring from WWE. He'll be a brand ambassador afterwards.
Yeah. Okay, so what else I'd like to see John Cena wrestle is if we're talking current WWE guys, Matt Cardona. If he ever comes back.
Yeah. We
They get
need
somebody.
the rubber match between John Cena and the final boss.
Yes. John Cena versus Randy Orton.
Hopefully at WrestleMania this time, because they've never had a match at WrestleMania.
Well, a
At least not a
one-on-one.
one-on-one match.
Yeah. For me, another opponent for John Cena is CM Punk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another opponent. Now, if we're talking, and if we're talking like NXT, talent, have John Cena challenge Oba Femi.
Yeah, hopefully John Cena won't want the North American title.
I mean, I don't know. That's just, okay. Here's another one. John Cena versus Gunther.
Yeah, that would be a great match.
And not to mention, if Gunther's still the World Heavyweight Champion, now you got something cooking.
Okay, if Gunther is still the world champion by that point, which, judging by his track record, he probably will be,
That's fair.
turn it from a one-off match into a full-blown rivalry.
Yeah. I would say, another match I would like to see John Cena wrestle is John Cena versus Sheamus.
Yeah, the Celtic Warrior. Hopefully this time John Cena won't slip and fall through a table.
Um, okay. Another big name that, that John Cena could wrestle is, All Ego Ethan Page.
Yeah, hopefully he could knock Ethan down a peg or 10. And let's face it, probably not.
No, John Cena. That's what I'm gonna say. John Cena versus The Miz. That's the last one. Which one? Who do you want to see John Cena wrestle on his retirement tour?
Well, I mentioned this earlier. Obviously, it was sort of awkward because I mentioned it right after you said Matt Cardona, which might give people the wrong impression. I mentioned the Final Boss. People, that's not what Matt Cardona calls himself. That's what The Rock calls himself.
Yes.
They are tied in matches against each other at WrestleMania, one apiece. We need a
Yes.
tiebreaker. But and WrestleMania is going to be 2 nights. Have Randy one night, Rock the other. It doesn't need to be for a title.
Unless The Rock wrestles Cody.
Again, WrestleMania is 2 nights long.
Yeah. That's true. For me, another opponent, Bronson Reed.
Yeah, Bronson would be pretty good. There aren't that many people. I realize, and like, keep in mind, we know John Cena's not going to wrestle at every show. He's only scheduled for like 32 days over a 52-week period.
What?
Yeah, John Cena is apparently scheduled for like 32 dates, including the first Raw on Netflix.
That should be,
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like another opponent that John.
Yeah, I hear the timer. And my timer wasn't set correct again. Oh well.
Hang on. The last opponent I'm going to say for John Cena is Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and with that, as for our final thoughts, these were just ideas. We have no clue who his actual final opponents will be. And we'll be back with the
Whoa,
results
whoa,
of.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Sorry,
whoa.
you go, you go.
My final thoughts are I hope John Cena, that, it's not just current, or if it is current people, that, it's banger matches. It's not just John putting them over, or, whether, it could be current rising up and comers, or, one final opponents. But if you do that with John, don't just do it like on a random episode of Raw
On Netflix.
on Netflix. But then, like
I mean, he's gonna be around until he's retiring after
December.
the New Year's Eve. So
Yeah. My final thoughts is that anyway, if you're gonna have John Cena wrestle, and you want him to wrestle a big name, but that for a pay per view. But if you want him to do an up and cover, fine, have him wrestle that person on a random ass episode of Raw on Netflix. There you go. Now
yeah.
we'll move on to the next
And
topic.
with that, we'll be right back with the results of SummerSlam. And we are back with the third and final topic, the results of WWE SummerSlam 2024. The
When we
event had some pretty big surprises.
Yeah, not to mention, folks, it is the last two SummerSlams before SummerSlam becomes a two-night event.
Hey, it should have been a 2 night event. Anyways, I'm gonna go in order that we predicted, and just to remind people, the loser had to watch the movie Batman Hush.
Yep,
It's not really a punishment to watch that movie unless you're a comic fan and get ticked off at the inaccuracies.
yep. Go.
Anyways, the first match we predicted was the special guest referee match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, featuring special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins.
Like we brought up earlier, this match made zero damn sense because he hates both of them.
That's why it made sense he would call it down the middle.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the match was kind of good. Like, Punk and McIntyre, they're both great workers, but I hate to say it, I think the match could have been a little bit better.
Yeah. From what I saw in the match, it looked like a very hard-hitting back and fourth match, and I'm very curious to see how if this rivalry honestly is ever gonna end.
I'm honestly surprised that they didn't uh, have Seth favor Punk, because Drew sort of cost him any chance at becoming world champion.
Yeah,
But yeah, Drew McIntyre won the match, which means for this prediction battle, Daniel Travis drew first blood in the points. That's how I'm gonna announce the person who got the first prediction right for the PLEs from now on.
okay.
The second match we predicted was for the Intercontinental Championship. the champion, Sami Zayn, taking on Braun Breaker.
Badass. Braun Breaker.
Yeah, this match, I'm sorry to say, I think I missed most of it or I wasn't paying attention or something. But yeah, good luck to the Raw mid card division.
Yeah, not to mention Braun Breaker had his first ever championship defense this past Monday.
Yeah, in a 2 out of 3 falls match against Sami Zayn, which he won again.
Yeah, good luck.
Which means Daniel now has 2 points. The third match for the United States Championship was the megastar LA Knight,
Yeah.
versus the US champion Logan Paul.
In his hometown.
In Cleveland, yeah.
Hell of a
This,
match.
yeah, it was great. The finish was dope.
What was the finish?
Reversing the what people would know as a buckshot lariat into a BFT.
Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna call this right here. If Logan Paul decides to become a full-time wrestler next year, I've heard he might be, but I think
That'd
at
be
some point,
crazy.
but I predict he will be a. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth here, but I could totally see Logan Paul being a world champion.
Blasphemy. But anyways, this got me my first point on the board, and we now have a megastar as the United States champion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's
And
next?
anyways, the next was the Women's World Championship, which kicked off the show, by the way. And this had one of those
What the?
surprises I talked about.
Yeah.
So it was the champion Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
And yeah, Liv retained, but that's not where the story ended, folks. After the match, Dom gave Liv a big old kiss.
Yeah.
So Dirty Dom is no longer a mommy's boy. Pun
Yes.
intended.
Yeah.
But yeah, that gave me another point. The next, and just to let you guys know, currently on what the score would be, I'm going to put it on the screen when this is happening. We are tied at this point.
Okay.
The next match is for the WWE Women's Championship. Bayley would defend her title against the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax.
Now one.
With how Nia has been displayed this current run, I don't think I need to say how this match was.
Spoiler alert, Nia won.
Yeah.
Good luck, Tiffany, getting, okay, here's an honest question. This is totally random, but is honestly a good question. Why hasn't WWE done a women's version of the Bloodline?
Or just added a woman to the bloodline.
Yeah.
They have at least, well, they have 3 people that could join. Nia,
Yeah.
Tamina, Naomi.
If
Okay,
Tamina's
4
even,
if Ava ever decides to return to the ring.
if Tamina even still wrestles.
She might not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Queen of the Ring is now the women's champion. As of this recording, tomorrow Tiffany Stratton's gonna be putting on a championship celebration for Nia.
Okay. Next.
The next match was for the WWE World Heavyweight
Yeah.
Championship. The
Hell of a
champion,
match.
Damian Priest, defends against the King of the Ring, General Gunther.
Hell of a match. Not surprising.
Hell of a match, for sure. And this is where the second of, I would say, the 3 surprises of the night happens.
Yeah. Finn betrayed Priest. That's it.
If you've seen Raw, you've seen the Mommy and the former El Champion have been kicked out of the Judgment Day and replaced by, well, only Liv Morgan. She was the only replacement.
But anyway, I'm gonna state a crazy fact that I told you, but I'm gonna say for the entire world is that here's the crazy fact. Gunther, or formerly known as Walter, has been champion 75% of his time since joining the WWE.
Insanity.
75% of that man's entire WWE run has had gold.
Where there's the WWE UK, NXT UK, Intercontinental, or now the World Heavyweight, there's been gold around that man's waist.
And then it's been
Someone
impossible.
call Billy a Dragunov. He might be the only person that can dethrone Gunther.
Or Sammy.
Or Sammy, I guess.
Yeah, now it draws the question of, shit.
Alright, so by this point, I had no chance of winning.
Yeah, you lost.
There was one match left, and Daniel had 4 points. The final match, which had something added the night before SummerSlam.
Bloodline rules, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just trying to fill in the story for the people listening.
Okay.
For the WWE Championship, in a Bloodline Rules match, the champion, Cody Rhodes, would defend against the interim tribal chief, Solo Sikoa.
Which again, it makes no sense why they're calling it the WWE Championship anymore. Well, it should just
WWE logic.
Yeah.
Anyways, this match was about what you would expect from a Bloodline Rules match. We've only seen one prior to this.
Cody's very lucky Cody's very lucky that history repeated itself.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting when you think about this.
Well,
people didn't say Cody cheated this time, which I'm happy about, don't get me wrong. But after the Bloodline Rules match, people were bitching and moaning online that Cody cheated in a no DQ match.
Yeah, but that's not the big thing. The end, right? The final big thing, and for some reason, with a new theme song,
which is called I Am Greatness, which is just the WrestleMania 40 mix of Head of the Table.
Yeah. The Tribal Chief is back, and now shit is going to be getting interesting on SmackDown again. And it's still weird to see Roman Reigns as a babyface.
It'll take some getting used to, but the OTC, the original Tribal Chief, not only Tribal Chief, one Tribal Chief, whatever it stands for.
Yeah, original Tribal Chief.
He Superman punched
Solo
Sikoa.
And Cody won.
Yeah, basically. Cody won, even though Jacob Fatu injured himself, which is something I forgot to mention.
Yeah, great.
Cody won, but that still puts me at 3 points, which means I had to watch Hush, and I watched it earlier this week.
Yep.
We'll be back next week.
Yep, bye.
Yeah. And see you next week.